Greetings, fellow Whovians, and welcome to Timey, Wimey Review. We're at the penultimate episode now of Doctor Who Flux, and after last week's amazing cliffhanger, how did this chapter held up? Well, please hit the subscribe button as I go through my spoiler talk / review of Chapter 5 of Doctor Who Flux, Survivors of the Flux. This video will contain spoilers, you have been warned. So let's dive into these spoilers. Well, the Doctor was transported via being a weeping angel to meet the Division, to meet the mysterious old woman that we saw in Chapter 3 of Doctor Who Flux, and it was none other than Tecteun, who basically called herself the Doctor's mother, which was a massive shock. I thought maybe it might have been Omega when she started mentioning about my eyes have changed so much since my regenerations, but nope, it is Tecteun. So when the Doctor confronted her and said, was the Master's story true? She pretty much said yes. So whether you like the Timeless Child storyline or not, again, Chibnall is sticking to his guns. He's gone full throttle with this, but there is, I feel, a little bit of a get out of jail free card with this one, because Tecteun basically said to the Doctor, you've got a choice now. You can either find out all your memories of your past lives, or by rejoining with the Division, or you can go and save your universe that you want to do, because we found out that the Division was hiding in the spaces between multiverses. So we have now established a multiverse in Doctor Who, which we kind of had with different dimensions before, but this was kind of like, again, more solid. So the Division, or at least Tecteun, has unleashed the Flux to basically wipe out Universe 1, which is our universe. And the Doctor was hearing all these voices in her head, all these sort of scrambled messages. It turns out that Tecteun had a fob watch, very much like the Doctor had in season 3, Human Nature. She's got a fob watch that contains all of the Doctor's missing memories. So again, back to that ultimatum. You can save your universe, go back to that and save your universe, or rejoin the Division, have all your past memories back to you, and everything will be all happy days for the Doctor. And of course, the Doctor says, no, I'm not doing that. I don't believe in you guys. And yeah, I'm going to fight this to the bitter end. The surprises keep on coming as we had the return of Prentice, who was in Chapter 3 of Doctor Who Flux, and it looks like that he has infiltrated UNIT from the 1950s up to present day, and he revealed himself to be known as the Grand Serpent. He was basically assassinating, killing quite big sort of figureheads in UNIT, and became pretty much the I can't remember the terminology of this, so I do apologize, but he was kind of like the one of the high councils of UNIT. That's the only sort of way I can sort of say that. And so yeah, is that, are we now assuming now when Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart had to go and talk to Geneva, it was Prentice all along? I don't know. So we fast forward to present day, and Prentice is talking to Kate Stewart. Kate's back, hooray! And he's pretty much saying that UNIT's going to be closed down now. Where, you know, it's old, it's defunct. We're not having it. It's going. But Kate Stewart was like, huh, "You're not doing that. My family's built UNIT from the ground up. I'm not having someone like you wreck it. And I know who you are. I know you've been quietly infiltrating the system for a long time. So I'm going to expose you for the fraud that you are." And when was having that, especially at the cliffhanger, which I'll get to a little bit later, is it me, or is it starting to feel a little bit like Marvel? Which, don't get me wrong, Doctor Who has done quite a lot of homages to various pop culture and genres over the years, from the classics to modern. But this felt like UNIT's been infiltrated by Hydra now, by the Grand Serpent, with these little snake logos. Yeah, glad to see Prentice back, because I wasn't quite sure where his sort of story lies. I know it was connected to Vinder, but that was it. Again, we'll get to the cliffhanger a little bit later, but I'm still not quite sure what his end game is, apart from just, I don't know, is he just doing this for money, power? I don't know. But it was great to see Kate Stewart. No other cameos. We were sort of rumours of Martha Jones or Osgood was going to come into it. Not happened in this chapter. Could happen in the next chapter, in the finale. But nope, she did mention Osgood and said that she's going to have to go off grid after Prentice pretty much tried to kill Kate Stewart by blowing up her house, but didn't quite happen. Not the best explosive effects going on there, sadly. But yeah, all to play for in the next chapter. Meanwhile, we have Yaz, Dan, and Professor Jericho in 1904 in this Indiana Jones slash Jungle Cruise-esque style of adventure. And they're basically doing the Doctor's task of trying to find out when the end of the world is. They've got a date, but they don't have a year. But obviously, them being stuck in 1904, or at least 3 years since they were stuck in the past, that they've been going through this journey of trying to find out what is going on. And I really liked this trio. It worked really well. So surely Big Finish Audio will be coming knocking to do some cutaway adventures with them. And Philip McNally, he was, oh sorry, Kevin McNally, I do apologize, Kevin McNally was brilliant as Professor Jericho. Really like him, and I like the little comedy elements with John Bishop, Dan, when they kept falling through the crack in the floor. That was really funny. And yeah, they get to meet up with Joseph Williamson, the weird old man from Victorian age. He's the one that sort of invented the Williamson tunnels, but are also acting as like these tunnels are just acting like time and space sort of transportations. So Williamson has been hopping through different time and space and locations. Yaz, Dan, and Jericho, they find him, and they're sort of just at the crux of where the tunnel is. Whilst that's happening, Vinder has located Swarm and Azure and Passenger, but not for long, because he soon got transported into another place where he meets up with Diane, Dan's kind of love interest. And that was kind of it for them too, well, especially for Jacob Anderson. So I know him and Belle are trying to find each other, but yeah, it was very not much on there. You know, it was, and to be fair, there was so much going on in tonight's episode, so something had to sort of cut short. But we'll see where that leads them next week. And finally, we have Belle, who still continues her mission, but she soon crosses paths with Carvinister, who steals her Lupari ship to drag her across the universe to the rest of the Lupari fleet, who have still got that shielding bubble to protect the Earth. So they're having a bit of a throwdown, trying to figure out why she's got a Lupari ship, and she's trying to figure out why you've dragged me over here. And because they're all, you know, kind of doing separate missions, all with the hearts in the right place, I suppose. But that doesn't matter, because then we get a big reveal as the giant serpent, the great serpent. He's basically infiltrated UNIT. He wants all the missiles to be pointed at certain points on the Earth to basically wipe out the human race. And above the Lupari shield, you have what pretty much looks like the entire Sontaran fleet to come and invade. Yes, Commander Ricksaw is back, and he's brought his buddies with him, and we're going to have a big old showdown. But not only that, we have Swarm and Azure, who have used their powerful force to infiltrate Division in that space between the different universes. They managed to infiltrate the space station that Tectayun was. They killed Tectayun. They touched her, wipe out. She's gone. Bye, Mum. See you later. And it looks like she's going to do, Azure's going to do the same to the Doctor. So there you have it, my fellow Hoovians. That was chapter 5 of Survivors of the Flux. And if you thought chapter 3 was quite meaty and heavy going, I think this one was even meatier. I am absolutely stuffed. Yeah, it was heavy going in a non-negative way. There was a lot to get through, a lot of exposition going on there, some really good big reveals, but again, it's just getting your head around it. So this definitely needs another rewatch just to sort of, again, get your head around it. But yeah, positives and negatives. Whether you like the Timeless Child storyline or not, you have to kind of praise Chris Chibnall for just going in both barrels and making his own Doctor Who lore. Again, you got that get out of jail free card with Tectayun giving the Doctor ultimatum, so she can either lock away those memories for good and carry on in that universe or rejoin the Division. So again, that's sort of still a bit up in the air. We'll have to see what happens in chapter 6. But yeah, again, I can't be too negative about the copying of Marvel-ish, because Star Wars has done it. Let's be honest. And look, Doctor Who has done homages to different genres and pop culture before, so I am quite excited to see a Doctor Who version of this. Even though it was a little bit on the knuckle for me with Grand Serpent infiltrating Unit, that just felt so much like Hydra to me. So maybe after a rewatch I'll be more happy with it. I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know. It just felt a little bit numb to me, a bit too copycat, in my opinion. The MVPs were definitely Yaz, Dan, and Professor Jericho. I love that trio. I love this adventure. Big Finish Audio, please give them a ring and just have some of your own adventures there. I know there's talk about the Hooniverse and maybe having some lots of spin-offs when Russell T Davies returns in Doctor Who, which could happen. Never say never, I suppose. But I would love Big Finish Audios to have a go with this one. So I'm going to give Chapter 5 of Doctor Who Flux, Survivors of the Flux, a TARDIS rating of 6.5 out of 10. That's not to say it was a bad episode per se, absolutely not. It was just quite a heavy episode to go through because there was a lot being revealed and build up, all obviously for the grand finale next week. Boy, what a grand finale we're going to have. Not only we've got this Sontaran invasion on the go, we've got the returning Daleks and Cybermen. They look like they're going to have a big showdown, all pointed at Earth. You got Kate Stewart having her own little sort of battle with Prentice and obviously defending the Earth. Got Yaz, Dan, and Jericho. They've got their thing with the Sontarans infiltrating Williamson's tunnel. And then, of course, you got the Doctor stuck in the Division's space station with Swarm and Azure. And looking at that cliffhanger, that fob watch is going to be opened. So how are we going to get those memories? The only thing I'm a bit worried about at this stage, and I'm going to be positive about it, but with that, all this exposition and all this build up that we've had for the past 5 chapters, I mean, we're only going to have an hour, maybe an hour 10 for this finale. Are we going to get a good resolution to Doctor Who Flux with that single amount of time? That remains to be seen. I think it's, and if I do hope that Chibnall pulls it off, but obviously Everyone's going to have a bit of their doubts, myself included, but I'm staying positive. I hope we do get a great resolve of this Flux series. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts to Chapter 5 of Doctor Who Flux, Survivors of the Flux. What did you think of tonight's revelations? Are you excited for Chapter 6? Because it looks like we're going to get quite a showdown with the Sontarans, Daleks and Cybermen. Oh my. Next time on Timey Wimey Review, it's the beginning of my Christmas season, starting off with the 10th Doctor story, The Christmas Invasion. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And as the good doctor once said, I'm very good at pulling rabbits out of hats.